How's it going, boys and girls? Today is going to be a fun day and a sad day all at the same time. We got some Reptilinks over here, which, by the way, code DBCB to save on your Reptilinks. Link right down there in the description. We're going to be feeding some guys some of these Reptilinks and some of our big lizards, and then we are going to be talking about some bad news and unfortunate news with our big lizards. So let's start off on a high note and start feeding them, and then we'll talk about sad stuff. On the list is going to be the quince monitor. Now, with hand feeding, the quince monitor has been doing so well. He's behind here. Let's see if we can get him. You see his little face coming up. Hey, buddy. Come on. It's food. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely loves the Reptilinks. This dude has been doing absolutely fantastic hand feeding for me with the taming methods we've been doing. Obviously, the smaller enclosure, everything like... Oh boy. This guy is spicy for some food. Yum. Dude's still chilling on 36 by 18 by 18. He's doing really well. I might start upgrading him to a 4 by 2 by 2 in a little bit. His water bowl, the water changing is kind of a little more difficult at this point. So instead of the usual method I'd use in my building, now I have to take it outside, scrub it out, hose it off, and then let it dry and then bring it back. So kind of all the water bowls right now are outside drying, but... a little bit of a headache, you know, learning curves of a new building, a new place, and learning some stuff that you have to kind of detour. Go up, 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 up. You can do it. I know you can. Maybe you can't. Are you a dumb lizard? Come here. That's a camera. Here's the food. Are you all done? Tried to pull a fast one on me, but I knew he was still hungry. He just didn't want to be on camera. Wow, that is some dirty glass. I really need to clean that. Coming down here, we have the other quince's enclosure. Now, this one unfortunately started losing some weight. And so the goal for this enclosure is I wanted to keep it nice and feel secure, have plenty of hiding spots for him. And then really the goal right now is feeding. So I'm not going to try to stress him out by like trying to hand feed him, getting him to hand feed. We just put a bowl of food right there. I'm pretty much feeding this one daily because I really want to put on its weight. Obviously, if an animal is getting skinny, you want to make sure it's good. We got it checked out, got everything figured out. Good. Now it's just about getting the weight back on him. Alrighty, now that we took care of some of the fun stuff, let's get into kind of the bummer stuff. First things that's going to be on the list for today, and something that I'm sure is on a lot of people's mind, is what happened to Bimson the Argus monitor. Now, I'm sure much like myself, many of us absolutely adored Bimson. He was the star of the show for many of reasons, starting out being one of the friendliest Argus monitor on YouTube, to then being the monitor that caused the most harm, physical harm, to myself ever. That video blew up and made me look like a complete jackass, to now the question remains, what happened to the beloved Argus? I mean, I'm sure the answer is like pretty clear if you look around this place. I mean, we just got here, and so there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be done, but the question is still there, and it's pretty obvious. It's there's no room in this place for Bimson. I mean, we're talking about an enclosure that took up around just 12 square feet of area, and that's just floor space alone, not to mention the height of the enclosure would pretty much be exactly to the ceiling. It was a very large enclosure because he was a very large animal, and the unfortunate thing is there's no room. There wasn't any place where I can put him. Don't get me wrong, this was not a situation where I was like, no room, let's get rid of the lizard, good to go. I thought for probably, I think this was planned out for about 6 weeks. It was there's a whole nother conversation to be had. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are also wondering, Dakotah, when you just moved, like all of a sudden you didn't move to the place you were planning on moving, what's going on here? That's definitely a separate video for a separate time. However, just to sum it up, we had to move. We had to move very quickly. Some bad stuff happened, which kind of forced my hand into getting out the previous location that I was in. And so some tough choices ended up being made. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I tried to find a way to be able to get this animal here for a very long time, but the unfortunate part is no matter how much I planned on this and how much I tried to, like, if we squeeze this enclosure over here and put this on top of this, then maybe... The fact of the matter is, it just wouldn't work. We just couldn't bring him, unfortunately. I was planning on doing like a saying goodbye to Bimson video. I know it would have meant a lot to some of the people that have been following me for a bit and been following with me with Bimson. However, when it really like came down to it, so pretty much the thing is I was luckily, and again, huge shout out to New England Reptile for helping me out with this. They boarded Bimson at their facility for about a week or so while I was moving down here, and then I found a place that would be able to be taking him. So huge shout out to them. I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for them. They really helped me out in this. When that day finally came that we were moving the next day, getting everything out, you guys saw the video, I had to get him out, and so I was like, okay, let's do a video on this. And when it really got down to it and it was like time to say goodbye to Bimson and pack him up, I just didn't really want to make a video. I didn't want it to be about the video and making sure the angle's good, the lighting's good, you know, it's a good solid video for the YouTube. I just didn't want it to be about that. I wanted my little like final moments with Bimson to kind of just be me and Bimson. And so that's what I did. I didn't film anything. I don't even think I took a picture. I just kind of spent some time with him, loaded him up, and well, brought him over. I did end up finding someone locally that would be able to take him in. Sabrina's Reptiles. It's Rhode Island, I want to say. Pretty, at least local to where I can drive to it, not ship the animal out, because by God, the shipping expenses on that would be astronomical. They took him in. I'm not sure if they plan to keep him or if they plan to sell him later on, but yeah, if you guys want Bimson, he's over at Sabrina's Reptiles now. Really kind of a bitter end to the Bimson saga, man. I really wanted like a hero arc to emerge out of it, because he was doing like so good, and then I messed up with him, and I messed up my hand with him, and I was really working towards like getting him back to being a good Argus, where he can like come out and do like, you know, the standing trick that other people with Arguses do. I had a lot of stuff planned with Bimson. And I mean, one of these grandmaster plans of mine was not this. It was kind of a out of left field situation, and again, when that happens, you kind of just got to detour with it and kind of roll with the punches. And unfortunately, well, man, one of those punches is saying goodbye to that stupid lizard. Bimson will be sorely missed. It's been a couple weeks now. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a bit since Bimson has been gone. I've had my time to kind of, you know, move on from it. Still kind of sucks. It still sucks doing these big lizard feedings, and one of those lizards isn't Bimson, because I feel like that was the best part, was like once he rolls down from like you feed him a couple pieces, he's like whoa whoa whoa, but then he kind of like chills out, and you get to see like that big dinosaur face of him like tongue flicking the food and eating it. Those are some of the best times, man. Those were some of the best times with Bimson. However, that is the end of the saga for Bimson, unfortunately, and really the end of the saga for acquiring any large lizard for at least the foreseeable future. Excuse me if I look a little bit sweaty and just a mess. Pretty much right before this video started, I found out that the tegus found the rip. There's a small rip in this tent right here, and they actually ended up finding it, ripping a bigger hole and getting through. I'll roll that footage right now. Huh. I don't remember putting you there. What a fun day I'm about to have. You can run, but you can't hide. No. So, a little bit tired, but luckily it was a-okay, so let's start feeding the tegus now that they've had plenty of exercise of running around this room trying to escape. Over here we got the main man, Blue. Blue, where are you going? Here, eat food. Don't leave. What are you doing? Nom 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 nom. Go back in the oh my god. Look, food. Go get it. Go get the food. Go. Go back in the cage. Blue. Oh my. Doing awesome. You guys can see they guys really enjoy the Reptilinks. Just give them a couple more of these bad boys. No, 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 no. I know these guys are in a temporary 5-foot by 32 inch by 32 inch. Just waiting on the 6x3 by 3 to come on over here. But for now, this will do them okay. They're doing great. Bertha's probably hiding in that log because she's really pissed off that I had to catch her, that you guys saw. But there you go. That's all the Reptilinks you get. You get 5 Reptilinks. There you go, buddy. Barry is currently chilling in this 4x2x2. Again, this is just temporary until the tents come. We finally got one that showed up today, and the other one's supposed to show up like 2 days from now. So oh my god. Very exciting stuff. Would you like another, ma'am? Could you go a little easier this time, please? Yeah, that's a nice lizard. There we go. Just takes one, and then they learn their manners. You guys know, or maybe don't know, Rosemary's currently listed on Morph Market. I'll have sitting down Dakotah talk a little bit more about that. Kind of unfortunate, but we'll explain really the reasoning behind why we are kind of dissolving the tegu project. A bit of a bummer. I really was excited to do tri-bred tegus. I mean, you guys have seen my excitement many times, but sometimes it just isn't in the cards, you know? And some things happen, and you kind of just gotta detour and keep up with the ship, or else you go down with it. But there we go, Rosemary chowing down on some Reptilinks. Very beautiful girl. Real quick before we continue on with today's video, I just want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Reptilinks. Reptilinks is a raw, whole food prey item developed specifically for our snakes and lizards. These guys have done a lot of work over the years, developing multiple varieties of foods, going from some common ones like the Mega Blend with fruits and veggies for our tegus, or maybe the Omnivore Blend for something like a bearded dragon or blue-tongued skink. Heck, you can even get a little bit weird with them. They got flavors like the Bayou Blend, rabbit and quail, or iguana meat. You can feed reptiles to your reptiles. My god, what a time to be alive. Whether you're just tired of seeing rats in your freezer, or maybe you're just trying to up the variety for your special reptile, Reptilinks has you covered. Now, if you guys want to get some more information on this, make sure to peep the link right down in the description, and also make sure to use code DBCB at checkout to save on your order. Your boy also gets a small cutback if you do. I very much appreciate it. Let's get back into the video. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about some bad news with in this video. That's going to be the Tegu project. Lizard project has not gone very well. It started out with the Argus project that became a failure. I slowed down and got rid of the females, keeping Bimson. Now Bimson is gone, and now we need to take a look at the tegus. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that Dakotah Blue Exotics is struggling in this time of 2023. We are in a recession. I know everyone's struggling. There's a sale on some. I mean, this is a buyer's market. If you're going to start a breeding project, do it now, because everyone's getting rid of their animals for very, very cheap, just trying to stay afloat. The matter is, we're no different. I mean, it has been very, very difficult to make ends meet right now. Animals just, especially with the late season that's been going on over here, it has made my life very difficult. Of course, with the new space being a lot less, I mean, we had an absolutely massive building. The Tegu project was going to be expanded into that downstairs section, which we did not use. That's about 30 by... I don't know, 20 feet, like 50, I don't know how much that is. What is that, 60, 70 square footage to use just for our Tegu project? It was gonna be awesome. I had big plans for our Tegu project. I can't do that here. I can't do that in this place. And I don't know when a new facility is coming, or if a new facility is coming. It's definitely not coming anytime soon, I can tell you that. Putting on an extra expense of a renting building would just, it's not feasible right now, unfortunately. So it's with this point, I have to not think about, oh, the new facility, I'll just hang on for the new facility. I don't know when that's happening, so I need to look at the space that I have usable right now and what choices need to be made to keep that going. Now, you think, yeah, well, Dakotah, you have some room. You can't put a couple of babies, can't get a 4x2 tent and set up for some Tegu babies. I could potentially do that. However, I could never expand on it. All of those babies would need to leave. I could never do holdbacks. I could never raise animals up to breed futurely. I could never expand on the project with more tegus. It would just kind of be a stalemate. It would be producing a Blue and Bertha clutch and a Blue and Rosemary clutch, and it will forever be just those two tegus breeding. And I just can't vibe with it. If I really do a project, I want to do it with all my heart. I want to expand on it, make it the biggest and best project I can. And I can't do that with animals this size in a place of this size, unfortunately. Again, fact of the matter is, all of those animals, this is a full 5-tier baker's rack of crested geckos. Next season, all of these geckos will need to be in 56 quart. These are going to be adult breeders that are growing out right now. Where are we gonna put 30 quart tubs on top of multiple tegu cages? It just doesn't make sense. I need to really focus on what is making the business successful and really drive onto that. Not saying I don't have a passion for crested geckos. I like crested geckos. These patterns and no mutations I've been getting has really sparked my interest in crested geckos a lot more than it has been in the past. And it makes me money, and money is good. Money keeps me doing YouTube videos full time. It keeps me keeping all these animals full time. It is a very nice thing. I know people don't like to talk about money and animals at the same time, but when you run a business full time, it's kind of important. When I'm looking at breeding projects, I'm looking at what the project is going to look like 5 years from now. And 5 years from now, the crested gecko game is going to be absolute fire, man. It is going to be incredible what we're doing crested geckos 5 years from now, but we're going to need the space in order to expand to do that. Tokay geckos, I have giant plans that are actually being executed in the next 6 weeks for tokay geckos. How we are breeding them, how we are housing them. There is a lot of stuff that's happening very soon with tokays. Even into the next couple of seasons with tokays, we are going to be grabbing some very expensive high-end mutations. With those mutations, I'm going to want to hold back animals, grow them out, create tokay combinations. What do I need in order to make that succeed? I need space. That's just the truth of the matter. I need space. My last building, I had the luxury that I did not know, and that was space for the animals. And in this place, that is not as big of a luxury. It is still a giant place. I mean, many people only have a bedroom to work with. We have this curves over. We have a lot of room to work with over here. However, when we're talking about the expansion that I am thinking of doing, we cannot expand with crested geckos, with tokay geckos, and with tegus all at the same time. It sucks, but it's the truth. So it's with that long rambling to give myself some sort of coherent explanation that we are going to be talking about the tegu project. The tegu project is all but being dissolved, and we are going to end up selling Rosemary. Rosemary was the last tegu to come in. While she is a beautiful red tegu, her and Blue just don't get along. I cannot get them to breed. They fight every time they see each other. I've been trying and working the cycling, but obviously with this move, this has set us back into trying again next season, and it's just not feasible. I am going to keep Blue and Bertha right now because I can't get rid of all my big lizards. The quinces obviously are still staying. I love the quinces. We need, obviously, adult quince cages are big cages, and they're not going. I love my quinces. I will never get rid of those quinces. I'll never get rid of at least having one tegu. Blue and Bertha do absolutely great inside their enclosures. They've been housed together, except for brumation, for a very long time, and I've had zero issues with them. If there ends up being an issue, there is enough room to separate at least a female tegu and a male tegu. But I think that's going to be it. I think we'll still try our hand in breeding, but we'll just breed a Blue and Bertha clutch every now and then, and I can still live my dream of hatching out some baby tegus. Maybe we'll just do it one time, and we'll just have one tegu clutch. We'll see how it goes, and if it goes well, maybe we'll do it again next year, or maybe we'll decide, let's not do it. So yes, the downsizing has been very severe. I have had a very lapse in judgment and really have been thinking with my heart. I'll be honest, I thought I was the next Kevin McCurley, and I was just buying the craziest shit, thinking it was all going to work out. And then a year or two into it, I've realized I do not have the knowledge nor the foresight or the capability to be able to breed all these different species of animals all at once with the tools that I have at hand. It was not feasible. The overhead absolutely crushed me, and we had to make some very severe decisions in order to keep us afloat. We're really down to just the building blocks of Dakotah Blue Exotics. Obviously, tokay geckos ain't going anywhere. New Cal in general. I've been talking a lot about crested geckos. We have a lot of gargoyle geckos now. We've been hatching a lot, and we have some very, really good stuff. Chihuahua geckos, we're about to have three more females that are going to be raised up next season to breed. Obviously, new pair of leechies. We're going to do an exclusive video on that coming very soon. We'll talk a little bit more about them and what the project is going to go with them. A lot of stuff. I mean, New Cal is a big thing. That is 4 separate species of geckos, and then tokays is a separate species of geckos. We'll always have a couple of the pets that we have. But, yeah, that's my rant for the day. I have a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to say because we've been planning this move for the past couple weeks. I haven't been on YouTube for 2 weeks until a couple of days ago. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit of videos here and there talking about it. I'm sorry for the people that don't give a shit about me and that just care about the reptiles. You're going to have to deal with it. This little thing, this is a diary of the evolution of this business. And me coming from like 3 crested geckos to this now? What's it gonna look like in 5 years? What were my problems in 2023? I love looking back and seeing that and seeing how I overcome that. So you guys unfortunately have to stick with it too. You subscribed for a reason. Please don't unsubscribe. You guys mean a lot to me. I just also like to talk nonsense as well. So that's the video today. At least you got to see some cool lizards while most of it was just me rambling my head off. Rosemary currently is listed for sale on Morph Market. If you guys are actually like a good dude and I know you're going to take care of her, well, that price is negotiable. I just want to make sure she does go to a good home. As with any of my larger lizards, crested geckos, I mean, anyone can take care of a crested geckos. An adult female tegu, it does take a little bit more finesse to make sure that that's going to the right place. So hit me up, Morph Market or Instagram, anything like that. We can talk and see what we can come to if you really are interested in her. Jesus Christ, those tegus have been going crazy for the past 20 minutes. As always, boys and girls, thank you so much for taking time in your day to follow us over here at Dakotah Blue Exotics. I promise this negative wave is going to come to an end. A lot of bad stuff has happened. I want to get that off my chest. A lot, and I mean a lot of good stuff is happening very, very soon. And so I want to get the negative stuff out of the way so we can then just focus on building back up and talking about all the positive stuff. I wish I could tell you more, man, because, oh man, there's just so much cool stuff that I gotta keep my lips closed because there's sponsorships involved and we gotta make sure that all works out. But very soon, a lot of cool stuff is hitting us. Stick around for it. I'm very excited for it. Let's get past this week, 2 weeks, whatever it'll be, of me editing videos, and then we can talk about all the amazing stuff that's gonna happen, because while there was a lot of bad stuff that happened recently, a lot of good stuff is just on the horizon. Just gotta keep going on, keep that spike going, and realizing that anyone that thought old Dakotah was gonna be a failure in this, well, heck, boys and girls, we've been going 3 years now full time, 4 years. This is the birthday when I'm recording this. 4 years on YouTube. Old Dakotah hasn't given up yet. And we're going to keep on going until we make this a successful business and Dakotah's driving around in a Ferrari. I'm just kidding. It'll probably be a ProMaster because I want to get big stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Until next time, goodbye.